Number one, I think this is important. Stop deciding each week. Stop deciding. Stop deciding to go to church. Stop it. Stop it. Decision making can be exhausting. I don't know about you, but decision making is exhausting for me sometimes. And and many times I hear, well, we were going to go, but we were tired, or we were out late, or we wanted to sleep in. And I just want to encourage you, stop deciding to go to church. Eliminate that decision with one big decision. Just decide, hey, as a family, on Sundays, we go to church. I remember being a youth pastor, and I would be talking to parents and saying, hey, man, we'd really love to have your kids come to youth group. And, and I'd have parents tell me, I don't want to force my kids to come because then they'll rebel against it later. I'm like, really? So you don't force them to brush their teeth? That's why I don't brush my teeth to this day. I was forced to do it when I was younger. Do you force them to go to school? Do you force them to make their beds? But you know what's interesting? My parents never made me go to church. Not once. My parents never made me go to church. They didn't. Not once. You know why? Because it never occurred to me I had a choice in the matter. It never occurred. They didn't have to make me. It was Sunday. It was Wednesday. We're going to church. There was no choice. There was no force. There was no cajoling. It's like, come on, we're going to church. It never occurred to me that I could object. I saw someone post a graphic on Facebook and said it well. It says, the problem with missing church is eventually you won't. The more you're away, the easier it is to stay away. And if you're away long enough, people won't miss you either. You know, if you're a regular part of church and you come every week and all of a sudden you're missing for a couple weeks, people start asking about you. Maybe they call you up, but if they don't call you, they're calling me. Hey, where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? Oh, we missed them. They do that. But after a while, they don't. After a while, they give up. Now, please, 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 don't test your friends. Don't miss church and then wait around to see if anybody checked up on you. Come on. We're better than that. But if you're consistent, it's part of your rhythm. You make more friends. The sermon series makes more sense if you come every week. Your kids will learn the value. You know, I remember one family when I was a youth pastor, and they made their kids come to youth group. After I talked to them, they decided, you know what, we're in. And they started making their kids come to youth group. And then they made their kids come to camp. And I remember these kids did not want to go to camp. They were introverts, they were nerds, and mom dropped them off. And one of the kids didn't want to go to camp so bad that he was clinging to the outside of mom's minivan as she was trying to drive away. And she made him go to church. That kid that was clinging to the outside of the minivan, fast forward 20 years later, he was a deacon in that church. Your kids will learn this value. Be consistent. If Sunday is the only time you connect with this church, then when you have to miss one Sunday, that leaves a big gap. And the more consistent you are, the more fun and joy you'll find in attending church.